Hello friends, Verified Soul here. Welcome again to this channel. Now for the DV Lottery 2022, we now know that it is all over with it. It came to an end yesterday, but I have some very good information to share with you towards the end of this video. So stick till the end. Many of the DV Lottery 2022 selectees were successful and they had their interviews scheduled, and some of them, they passed the interview and they have their visas, while others did not get the opportunity they hoped for to get interviewed and receive their visas, they did not get. Many have successfully gotten their visas. Some of them are already in the United States. Some of them, they have their visas and are planning to relocate soon. And congratulations to you. We are glad for your success. But for those that did not get the chance to receive their interviews, others, they have low case numbers. Others, they have high case numbers, but could not make it. I want to tell you that the end of a thing or a period always marks the start of another thing or another period. And you never know that this period around might be for you. This another thing might be helpful to you. We know that for the DV Lottery 2022, over 113,000 selectees were picked, and only 54,850 visas were available. So, in any case, there are those that would have not gotten the visas, while there were those that who would have gotten the visas. And we've seen this. On the side of the KCC, they really worked hard. And this year round, the DV Lottery 2022, as we shall see, KCC went ahead and issued even exceedingly. They offered visas beyond the limit, that is 54,850 that were available. They offered round about 55,500, way past the limit. And before this, we know that the DV Lottery 2022 was one among the years that were highly affected. Immediately, the results were out on May, the year 2021. The DS260 processing, it kicked off. But within the same month, it stopped to give room for the court cases for the DV 2020 and 2021. So the DV Lottery 2022 DS260 processing came to a halt, and it is stuck on that halt up to around September of the same year. And that's when they again picked on processing the DS260 for DV Lottery 2022. And therefore, there was a huge delay and a huge load that KCC had to cover for DV Lottery 2024, if at all they had to meet the target. And we saw that they really worked and they found out a way to go around this huge load. And on December the 9th, 2021, we saw them scrapping off the document submission procedure, and no longer were the DV Lottery 2022 selectees had to submit the documents to KCC for processing. That procedure was removed and therefore hastened the process. And later on, KCC was able to curb this problem, and so far we've seen they have offered even beyond the available visas. Again, the DV Lottery 2022 was highly affected by the closure of many embassies. Many embassies were not operating, and it's the time that they were reviving and they were trying to hasten to meet their targets. Some managed while others failed. So in the totality of it all, KCC did a marvelous job, as we shall see. And let's go on to this data that I have from France website. And I have this page here, and it will clearly show us all the cases that were scheduled for the interview. We shall see those that were put in administrative processing, AP here, those that were issued, those that are ready, those that were refused, those were in transit, and the total of all this. First of all, let me capture this. As you can see, KCC was able to schedule around 72,000 interviews. That is 71,977 to be precise. These were the cases that were scheduled for interview. And among these, some they passed the interview, some they did not pass the interview process. And among those, 54,335 visas have already been issued. 54,835 visas have already been issued. But this is not all. In an earlier video, we saw that about 1,300 visas were allocated for the USCIS for adjustment of status. And this means those people that were already in the United States on a non-immigrant visa and applied for the DV Lottery 2022 and was selected. And they were about 1,300. And therefore, these visas, if you combine them with the 54,335, let me take my calculator here. If we take the visas for the adjustment of status, 1,300 roughly, and we add to 54,335, we get 55,635 visas issued. If we add the remaining people who were on AP and were issued, this figure even gets a little bit bigger. So there were 54,850 visas allocated for DV 2022. But as we can see from our simple maths here, is that KCC have already issued visas way beyond that mark, 55,635. Do you see? KCC has really worked hard. However, the reason as to why you are there and you had a low case number, but you didn't get scheduled or an opportunity to get this visa, is because some embassies in some countries, we know they performed poorly. Up to the end of this fiscal year, the DV 2022 fiscal year, they had not come up to the task. They had not reached the limit that they were supposed to have reached. And therefore, many of their selectees suffered but it's unfortunate. But just as I said, it's not all over with you. The end of a period marks the beginning of another period. Like for example, in the next 3 or 4 days, the DV Lottery 2024 is opening up for application. And if you are not successful, it means it's another chance for you to try your luck again. And you never know, this time around, it might be for you. The DV Lottery 2022 fiscal year is already ended and it's over with that. And the DV 2023 interview period has already begun. And since we are on the weekend, there might be no interviews, but during the business days, the interviews for DV 2023, that is on Monday, will begin. And also the DV Lottery 2024 application period will start in the next few days. Therefore, try your luck again in this. And for the DV Lottery 2023, since it has begun, get prepared and ready, very well prepared for the interview. Anything needed, get it right. With that, I come to the end of this video and I'm glad to share this with you. If you have not yet, please subscribe to the channel and also like the video, and let's meet in the next video.